How would you describe your experience with Masters in Theology and ACU in one word? Extraordinary. Who is Mwindula Mbewe? I am a father, I am a husband, I am a Christian, and I'm also a pastor at Hillview Baptist Church. I grew up in a pastor's home, and as a child developed interest in the whole vocation of preaching and pastoring. But it was only in my first year of university when I got an internship in the field of software engineering that I knew for sure, having tasted the work environment, that I wanted to be a pastor. So little did I know it would be 10 years before I would be able to get into ministry. And so since 2019, I have been at Hillview Baptist Church past 5 years. Why did you do a Master's in Theology at ACU, and how did you find the whole experience? I got into pastoral ministry without any formal studies or any formal training other than an internship for about a year, and obviously many years working in the church, working with people, working in ministries. And so when I did get into ministry, I had a real sense of my deficiencies, and I did feel I needed at some point to study. And so when the Masters in Pastoral Theology came up at ACU, I was primarily attracted to the faculty, looking at particularly Dr. Vodi Bokam and Dr. Conrad Mbewe, who are well known and who are the leaders in the Reformed movement and Reformed Baptists across the world. And so the opportunity to study under them and learn from them was primarily what attracted me to the program. I found it a very challenging program. I thought, because we were the first intake, that it would sort of be a walkover and it would sort of be a degree on a silver plate. But actually on day one, when we were just told about the program and the schedule, immediately I actually felt like quitting on day one, because I quickly realized it wouldn't be a game, it wouldn't be a degree on a silver plate, it would be very involving. But so it was very grueling. I thought it was, the material was bulky, there was a lot to do, and I think I survived at the end of it by the grace of God. But overall, certainly a good experience. How has the Masters in Theology helped you in your preaching? Basically, it first of all is the course on preaching. That was very good and helpful, particularly about getting to the main point or thrust of the text and not imposing your own ideas on a text and preaching good things and right things which are not in the text. So the course on preaching was helpful to give the tools and give the skill of extracting what is in the text and conveying it properly. The rest of the courses were also good just because they were really helpful. You know, in preaching, you have to draw from all the various disciplines and aspects of theology. And so it was really helpful to get a holistic sort of education on theology, and that really informs one's preaching. So I would say that it was helpful both in terms of the course on preaching, but also everything else to help inform one's preaching. What was your favorite aspect from the Masters of Theology program? I think I enjoyed Dr. Vodi Bokam's courses the most. Every class was sort of like a mind-blowing class where your foundations were shaken and your assumptions were challenged. So those were very good. I enjoyed my father's courses just because I knew him, so I think I found them easier, and what my classmates struggled with, I did not. The courses for Dr. Kayumba were probably the most challenging because he's not just a pastor, but he's an academician. And so he was very academic and uncompromising in what he expected of us, which was grueling but also important for our training. What would you say to an aspiring preacher thinking of getting into ministry and the great opportunity of pursuing a master's in theology at ACU? I think it's my conviction that schools don't make preachers, but preaching and preachers make preachers. So the great advantage with a master's in preaching and pastoral theology at ACU is that you're being trained by preachers. You're being trained by people who are pastors and they're preaching. So it's not theoretical, but they're able to apply and even have preaching at the back of their minds as they are training you in whatever discipline it is, whether it's systematic theology, church history, historical theology. So it's really helpful, but also just in terms of preparing one for pastoral ministry, in terms of counseling, in terms of worship, in terms of ethics, in terms of church history, and helping apply all those things to preaching so that your preaching is enriched as one who has been taken through these various aspects of theology. How would you describe your experience with Masters in Theology and ACU in one word? Extraordinary.